So that is Freakier Friday, the sequel to the original Freaky Friday,
Hmm.
which is directed by Nisha Ganatra, which was out this past weekend. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, Mark Harmon, Chad Michael Murray, and Christina Vidal. Tess and Anna discover that lightning may indeed strike twice as they navigate the myriad challenges that come when two families merge. All right, so Carissa, you've seen Freakier Friday. What did you think about this film?
I've seen Freakier Friday and the original Freaky Friday. It was
Mm.
millennial nostalgia. So, here's my thoughts on it. Um, I think Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, great performances. I think they still got some comedy chops. However, my criticism is that because unlike before, where it was just those two swapping places and figuring out each other's lives and actually seeing things in a different perspective and then coming to an understanding, you had four people.
Right.
And because of that reason, I noticed there were times that it was a little harder to follow.
Right.
And again, because of that, I kind of felt like certain scenes were a little bit rushed and
Mm.
there were the harder discourse. Like, for example, in the original, as we all remember, Lindsay Lohan's character, Anna, and Tess Coleman, or Jamie Lee Curtis's character, obviously you have a generational difference and difference of perspectives on things. Mom is moving on with somebody new. Teen girl is, trying to go a different path in life, but also mourning loss of the death of her dad. And when you see them swap places, you not only see like, okay, the mom realizes how hard her daughter's working, but also realizes, her daughter doesn't have such bad taste in guys. And maybe her daughter has some points when she says this popular girl that she used to be friends with back in the day is a little evil. But now that
Right.
we have four people, we have the dynamic of mom and daughter, but we also have the two girls that are the same age. And you know, essentially the big thing is that they have opposite aesthetics. They don't really get along all that great, but that's also because they're putting on a mask. And now the
Mm.
mask is
Sure.
off, so to speak. And, we all know how it's going to end eventually. They're going to come to an understanding. But I think because it was four people and we had all that, it was a lot harder to follow. I think if either the movie was a little bit longer or they had some sort of like a mini series, maybe, I think it could
Right.
have been told a little better. It's still
Mm.
entertaining, it's still nostalgic, but I wouldn't say it's got the same heart as the original, I guess.
That,
Because like it's
yeah.
entertaining, it's funny. Definitely I would
Mm.
I would see it, but I don't know if you want to go see it in theaters. You might want to wait till it streams. So,
Mm. What do you give it?
yeah.
Thumbs up or a thumbs down?
You know what? A very small thumbs up because I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I just think it was a
Good.
little all over the place.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Well, Carissa, this film was really supposed to be made right after the original, like
Yeah.
2 years after. The script was there, the producers was there, Disney was all in for it, and
Mm.
then all of a sudden, Jamie Lee Curtis's career got in the way. You know,
Ah. Oh,
and she,
well,
yes,
let's look at
wasn't.
Caitlin though, because
All
not
right, yeah,
looking forward to it and pleasantly surprised.
there we go.
Um, no, I will say I will definitely agree with Caitlin. Better than I thought it was going to be. I was a little nervous that I thought I was going to hate it, and I really didn't hate it. I just found it a little hard to follow at some point because you have all of these things going on at once, so it was very quick. But yeah, still, I will definitely agree. He's definitely pleasantly surprised with that. You know, I
Right.
just wish they either had more time to tell the story or maybe we had more times with the characters a bit more, like something like that. You know?
Right. So Caitlin says she was pleasantly surprised by this film, considering
Hmm.
that she really wasn't looking forward to it, and I think it was better than the original. I love the four-person swap. You
Hmm.
know, oh, you have to really think about this well and how the script is written. And when you have a lot of people mixed into the bag of writing a script, because it goes through so many different rewrites, you
Yeah.
think about it, and you have to get. Well, no, look, Jamie Lee Curtis has a lot of pull in every
Yeah.
film that she does.
Hmm.
Now, ever since, I would say, the Blumhouse reboot of Halloween. That's when she went like maximum effort into planning what she wanted to see on the screen and how she was going to act in the film and what direction she was going to tell these guys what she wanted in the films. So obviously, Freakier Friday is no other difference than that. Let's see. Also, Caitlin says Jamie Lee gave a great
Definitely.
performance. Love
Definitely.
seeing Chad Michael Murray, and it was so crazy to see Manny Jacinto in this role, as I only know him as Jason in The Good Place.
I
Wow.
only know him as Jason in The Good Place too. So yeah, Caitlin, I totally get you there. And the thing is, it's not. Here's the thing. Manny Jacinto, I've noticed, at least in The Good Place, he's very good at playing dumb. Obviously, in this, definitely got the potential to be a leading man here. Like, I'm definitely getting that vibe from him. Oh yeah, antics were definitely fun. I don't know if people are reading the comments right now, but antics were definitely fun. Loved the wardrobe. I'm glad that they had one of the characters as like a fashion designer, and they get to play around with it, and they got to play with each other's looks. I thought that was amazing. And just like another little element to add to the movie. And again, I cannot get over how amazing Jamie Lee Curtis looks. And Chad Michael Murray's character had every right to still have a thing for her.
Correct. Caitlin, what do you give this film? A thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let's see.
Come on, I want to know, baby girl.
Just got to make sure. Got to make sure. What do you give it? A thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let's see. Let's see that thumb. Let's see. Where's it going? Where's the thumb going?
Oh, man. Got to see those emojis. Come on. Find the emoji.
Find the thumb. Find the thumb. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Thumbs up from Caitlin Skinner, who is unfortunately not able to join us on video, but she's here. And she's, she's giving us her review of Freakier Friday. She gives it a thumbs up. Carissa gives it a passing, just barely passing thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be like, woo, because, look, I'm partial to the original. I think that's always going to be a little better for me, but I do think it's worth seeing. If, I was going to say, if you want, you're probably better off streaming it so you could actually sit back and relax and take it in. But I also wanted to bring up, I didn't realize how good the original Freaky Friday was until I rewatched it for this movie. Right. I noticed, and the thing is, and this is why I give it like not a huge thumbs up, because again, it was really fast paced, it was a little hard to follow. In the original, I think because we were only focusing on two characters, you really got to see the acting where Jamie Lee was acting like Lindsay, and Lindsay was acting like Jamie Lee, and you saw the mannerisms, you saw, the way they carried themselves. You didn't get to see it as much in Freakier Friday, but I don't think it was the actor's fault. I think it was that they were limited on time. So that's kind of why I think they either should have made the movie longer. That's my one criticism. They should have either made the movie longer or done some sort of like mini-series where you can really get into that. Yeah.
All right, very good. So a thumbs up from Carissa and a thumbs up from Caitlin. Very good.
Can we also point out, Caitlin states that it's a little laggy with the comments, but that she thinks that this is better than the original. I want to know why. I want to know why before we start moving on here.
Why? Why? Rob's review is not important here. Continue.
I'm curious. Because I kind of Rob. With all due respect, I have a feeling I know where you stand on this one. I have a feeling I know where you stand on this one.
All right. I love how the action started right away. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's true. That's good.
Definitely a good intro.
All right.
Definitely good intro.
So 2 thumbs ups from the ladies. I give this a thumbs down.
I knew we were going there.
This is a tired rehash that nobody was begging for. 20 years in the making, really? It exposes being the overbearingness of Jamie Lee Curtis and attempts to restart Lindsay Lohan's career. Why? Why do we have this? This is only catering toward the fans, the nostalgia of the fans, who will survive watching this because they love it. This is their cup of tea. This is horrid editing as well. Eleanor Infante, I am calling you out. I am calling you out. This should have never been tasked with editing such a big feature film in this manner. Really? The personality switch, I think, was the concept that just looks so late 90s, early 2000s. It's been done so many times to death.
Rob, you know what? Again, Caitlin just commented again. Give those fans what they want. And you know what? Now, I don't know if this is an Oscar buzz movie. I'm definitely not going to put it up there, but what I am going to say is that it was entertaining, giving the fans what they want, and also let's be real here. It's kind of catering to the folks in our age group here.
I
It ain't
know
meant for
it
you,
is.
Rob. Sorry.
I know it is not. I know. Look, a few of the jokes did land. I did give them credit for that, but a lot
Yeah,
of them
the
was.
jokes definitely landed. They had that
Yeah,
comedic timing. They definitely had that
yeah,
going.
I'm not going to dispute that. Yes, they did
Yeah.
some land of them, but I don't know how I survived watching this entire film. Honestly, there's tons of unnecessary vomit-inducing outtakes in the end credits. Why again? It reminds me of so many other films. It just Disney goes to the bank every single time with this. At the end of the credits, let's just roll a whole bunch of funny stuff that really wasn't funny. So hopefully, no more Jamie Lee Curtis films in this manner. Will there be a part three? Will there be a part three, Carissa?
I actually don't think there's going to be a part three because, I mean, what else could they do with the point of that story? But at the same time, I think it was just enough to show the growth of Anna and Tess, where they did sort of come apart, but not entirely. You know what I mean?
Well,
But also let's be honest, when they were in their stepdaughter and their daughter and her daughter's body and everything like that, it was kind of cool for them to experience being young again. And
right.
I think that was the big thing, that they got a chance to be a very carefree kid again and then realize, oh wait, there were some things about being an adult that we missed, like being able to control our situation, not have to listen to dad,
Right. All right. So
and of
Caitlin
course,
says, I thought
they
that.
realized what's great about being an adult. So,
Caitlin says those were fun. Let me just roll that down there. She was big on the
Caitlin's got a
outtakes.
good point.
They were fun on the outtakes. As an indie actor, I like seeing the big people mess up too. Of course, yes, mistakes happen.
And you know something? That's again why I say that this was a movie just purely for entertainment, nostalgic. Look back and just some laughs.
Yes, it is.
That's the thing. I've noticed that you see when you see like a lot of comedy movies like this, like it's cool to see the outtakes.
Yeah, well,
and good for the teenagers too. Yeah, because I think it does open some new things for the youngsters too. So I do think it is something if you want to like maybe watch with like maybe if you're my age and you have a kid around that age, go watch it.
Excellent.
Like I said, don't expect it to be an Oscar-worthy performance. It's just a fun movie.
All right, and Rob gives it a thumbs down.
You always do. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Carissa Pignatelli from what? You're from New York, right? You're from the
I am.
New York. That's right. All right. And Caitlin Skinner joining us via satellite from the chat room. Good for the teenagers. Yes. All right. Very good. So let's move on. All right. The next film tonight on Silver Screen Previews is Weapons. Now, in Weapons, when all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night, exactly at the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearance. So this is Josh Brolin, Julia Gardner, and Alden Ehrenreich, directed by Zach Kreger. Here's, I believe, a clip from the film, which is #1 at the box office this past weekend. Here we go.
I don't think we have anything to say to each other.
Yeah, I think you have a lot to say.
You and every other person in this city. Believe me, the message is loud and clear. I'm the problem. Got it.
You know what? I think that's the first honest thing I've heard you say. You are the problem.
What, you want to get in my face? You want to threaten me?
Nobody's threatening you right now.
The wrong tree.
Okay.
Thanos and the Silver Surfer. And?
I was going to say, yeah, this should be like everybody in the MCU decides to do horror.
Right. And here comes Wong! Wong from Doctor Strange. On the attack.
Yeah, once I saw this part, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, where is this going?
All we're missing is Benedict Cumberbatch. Really great makeup.
Very good physical performing, for sure.
I like the lotto guy. He was like, get out of my store!
It's like, help me! Because I feel like that would happen in real life, to be fair.
Stop ruining my merchandise! I paid so much money for it. Yeah, and the door's locked, of course. What is it, the Fox?
Yeah, honey, you ain't gonna push it through. I'm not gonna lie, that was like such a good fake out.
All right, that's great. That's Weapons, #1 at the box office, $43 million for a horror film from Scream Gems. Very impressive. All right, Carissa
Yeah.
Pignatelli, what did you think about Weapons?
All right, so I've got a lot to say about this. Now, I went in
Mm.
blind. I knew it was the same director as Barbarians, and I did enjoy Barbarians. I did not know who was exactly going to be cast in it, so I was pleasantly surprised seeing Josh Brolin. I still kind of hummed to myself, "Ooh, Thanos," when I saw that. But with that being said, getting back to the movie itself, I liked how there were some individual stories. You got to see like each person as they go through what's going on here and how they kind of intersect and connect. So I do think it's an editor's movie in that sense.
Well, the old Pulp Fiction way. The old Pulp Fiction way. You know, just start piecing everybody's story together, and
Yeah.
then you have a nice little, you know, everything comes together. And bam.
Yes. I do like when stories are told that way because you're like, what the hell? Because let's be honest, in real life, you don't get the full story and then until you look back. So that was kind of, I did like how they did that. The shots, definitely cinematically well done. I really enjoyed how it pulled you in, and then it would sometimes, it used enough jump scares where it didn't get old. Where I've noticed there are some movies where it builds and builds and builds, and you know there's a jump scare coming. There's quite a few scenes where it builds, and then you get the jump scare, and then there's some where it builds, and then you don't get the jump scare, so it does keep you on the edge. So I really did like that. I also, without giving any spoilers away, I kind of liked how they left a couple things up with a mystery, and they do kind of hint at it in the beginning that there's a bunch of things that they couldn't quite explain. So I think it did kind of cover any plot holes where they acknowledged it. Like, yeah, we know there's some holes in this, but that's the point. There's some things we don't know exactly why this has happened, but it tells you enough where it's not like they're just throwing things at the screen. And Caitlin apparently also went into it blind.
Yes.
And yeah, it definitely gave you a nice slow roll. And then slow roll of all the details and then comes together. Totally love that. Again, with no spoilers, I think the actors did a great job. I think cinematically it was done very well. Although part of me thirsted for a little more, I wanted to know maybe a bit more about certain characters, again, without giving spoilers away, and maybe about how things got to be. But again, I think that was the whole point of the story. They wanted you to have some questions. So you know what? I think it did its job.
All right, so a thumbs up from Carissa Pignatelli on, of course, Weapons, #1. Who would have thought that? I would have thought, obviously, what, Fantastic Four still #1? Or what was the last week's? I Know What You Did Last Summer was still #1, or Superman? No, it's Weapons. Big shocker. Big shocker. All right.
Caitlin, I just saw something where you said, you know, there was a couple scenes you were like, oh, police wouldn't do that. And also you read part of the interview where Kreger is saying that he chose that posture that the kid's running in. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. I also heard something different where it wasn't supposed to be like the napalm girl from the photo where like she's running with her arms out. I heard another one where it was also chosen to kind of be like they're marionettes, like someone's controlling them. Like it was a hint that they didn't quite do it willingly. And
Ghost Story.
Oh, that's also another thing with the whole part about the cops. I know obviously in real life, like the cops may not do something like that, but I think the fact that it was placed in kind of a small town gives a little bit of artistic license because, you know, obviously we see the characters where two of them clearly have a problem with alcohol. And then we have another character, again, not giving spoilers is why I'm not saying names. Then we have another character who clearly was a bit on the standoffish side. And then when, of course, his child is removed from the situation, that's when he starts to show emotion and saying like, oh my God, I miss my kid. I never told them that I love them so much, you know? So, yeah. And more like they would be looking for him. I mean, technically they were, but they didn't know where the kids went. They just ran out, and that was it. You know, they didn't know where the kids could have gone.
That's correct.
But also, and again, I think this is also where there's a couple plot holes, and they admit to it. You know, it went by the viewpoint of all the people involved in the story until it came together. we didn't really get the viewpoint so much of the actual police force. We got the viewpoint of that one cop that clearly had a drinking problem, so he may not have been doing his job right from the start, you know?
All right. So Caitlin also says, I thought this was so interesting that they chose the bully's dad to do her perspective. Yeah, look, it's not that they didn't try different things. They wanted to focus on different aspects of the story in order to make it more, I think, more dynamic.
Mm.
And the bully, yeah, they didn't want to go there. They didn't want to go there. They wanted to focus more on what was going on the other side. For example, Justine. Justine's character, played by Julia Garner, that was the focal point. That's why everything was focused in the beginning toward her to kind of like distract you in a way. I don't know if you agree with that, Carissa.
I don't know if I'd say distract per se. I think that it just focused on the fact that you have a teacher. She's the one that everybody looked at as like, oh, what did she do to bring the kids away? And obviously,
Right.
you know, they're like, oh, why is it only her class? Why is it only her class? And
Exactly.
obviously, you learn more later on that. What makes me wonder about the bully's dad, why they chose his perspective, is because at least I thought it was more that a lot of people that do bullying, they're doing it for a reason because hurt people hurt other people, what I've
Right.
noticed. So I think, you know, that's why I was saying before, like, you know, you see, again, I wasn't going to give it away before, but obviously the bully's dad, again, he comes off as this character that's very hyper masculine, like he's a construction worker, he's this, you know, this guy that's in charge of everything at his job, where he's like, you know, he plans everything.
Right.
But then when his son is taken away, that's when you see that vulnerable aspect of him where even his own wife is like, hey, I'm going to work. And he's there like sitting in his son's room, like clutching his son's pillow, missing him
Yeah.
clearly,
All right.
you know. So I think that was sort of to show, I guess, the juxtaposition of like, okay, he could be this tough son of a bitch, but also he's a very loving dad. Like he does do it, but he's learned like, all right, I clearly have to show it,
Right.
but too little too late.
Oh,
And yeah,
all
he
right.
definitely did. Caitlin added, Justine's character definitely did great as being the scapegoat. And yeah, they needed that scapegoat. They did, you know?
All right. So Caitlin gives it a thumbs up. Yes, she did a great and showed the scapegoat that people need in a trauma situation. All right. So 2 thumbs ups from Carissa and Caitlin on Weapons. What did I think? Well, look, this was a very sinister film, but did it work? Yes, of course it did work in many aspects. The fact that it tends to shock you at the end, I think that stays with you as you leave the movie theater. Now, there's lots of raw gore, which is tough to watch at times, but the beginning really sets everything up for a roller coaster ride throughout the entire thing. I think James Brolin's character, Josh Brolin, James Brolin is his father. Josh Brolin is, as Archer, is the pivotal character here because he tries to make sense of everything through all, trying to connect the dots and the maps and all that different stuff and trying to figure it out kind of like methodically in a way where it makes sense, and then it invites Julia Garner's Justine's character to, you know what? Yes, you're onto something here. We need to investigate this further. We need to together and join minds and try to find out what the hell is really going on here. Caitlin also says she loves the special effects, and the end was the chef's kiss. Very funny.
I will say one thing. I didn't find it very gory, but again, without giving spoilers away, I thought the ending was chef's kiss because if you watch it, you'll know.
Yeah. The only negatives that I thought I saw in this film was the believability of not having so many cops on the movie. There was just one cop, but there was like, wait a minute, isn't there an investigation going on here that we don't know about, or what the hell's going on? There's 17 kids missing, and you only have one cop who's not lazy, who was trying to take on this entire situation by himself.
Well, hold on, because he wasn't trying to take on the situation so much himself.
It was impromptu, but still, the lack of police force or police people in this movie.
No. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree because here's the thing: we realized from the get-go that this cop has a problem. This cop, number one, clearly when he's talking to his wife, he's not enthused about becoming a dad or, you know, moving on with his life.
Well, I'm talking about
He
the police
also,
force.
they also implied that he only got the job because his wife and or girlfriend, they never really say if they're married or not,
Right.
got him the job. That his
Right.
boss is his
Right.
girl's dad. And
Aha.
clearly, this is a guy that, to cope with something that happened with him on the job, again, not trying to spoil things, decides to cheat. And
Yeah.
also, you know, I know we could claim, oh, it's because of his alcohol problem. No, I think he was planning on it. I think he was planning on it.
All
Yeah,
right.
because
All right.
he told that other girl, again, without doing spoilers, he told the other girl, like, oh yeah, we're not doing so good. Things aren't good. So he was planning to, whether he got drunk or not, you know. So I kind of think the only reason why, like, we see a cop out on the street is because he's trying to make it like he's doing something. Obviously, he's got to impress the boss here and there. But the
Yeah,
guy
but I want to
clearly
see
has
more
a
police
problem.
cars, though. I
Doesn't
want to
release
see
it.
more police cars, Carissa. I want to see more of a police force, not just
Well,
one guy
no, but
roaming
that's my point.
around.
I'm
No,
sure.
no.
I'm sure. Again, I'm sure there actually were police looking. I'm sure there were actually police looking, but I don't think they were looking in the same place that he was. And also, again, we're following each person,
No, I know. Probably would have been too
and
much.
it's clear that Archer's doing a
All right.
lot more than the cops, because the cops are probably trying to be a little more looking at footage, trying to ask other people. They're doing the boring stuff. They're not knocking down people's doors. They're probably like trying to interview more people, seeing where else can we look, you know.
All right. There's a lot of creepy house scenes here that really add to the tension of the film. I thought that James, who's being played by Austin Abrams, his scenes led to what was really going on. The creepy scene in the house when he's breaking in and he discovers what's going on. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Mr. Zach Kreger is not given enough credit for his amazing musical score throughout this entire film, which
Yeah.
only adds to the eeriness of the film. And the villain. Oh, I don't want to say, of course, too much, but I thought that the villain was so obvious right from like the first act. I don't know what you think, Caitlin. Did you think that the villain was revealed a little bit too early? You kind of figured it out. It was that obvious, kind of like you know, like an elephant in the grass, kind of like situation. You know.
Ooh.
What did you think, Carissa?
So here's the thing. Obviously, they had little clips of the villain, but you didn't understand, like, what the hell did I just see? What did I just see? Like, they nitpicked. Now, yes, the villain was obvious when you did finally see them
I guess,
in broad
yeah.
daylight, but you still didn't know how this villain was doing what they were doing and how they were going to be responsible for what they were responsible for.
Yes.
And yeah, love James in this. Oh yeah, music definitely added to it. According to Caitlin, the villain was very obvious, but no, I gotta agree with Caitlin. The obvious villain thing did not take it away from the story, because, like I said, yes,
No.
you saw clips of this creepy thing. Again, not trying to give it away, but
Person.
yes, person. But no, yeah, same thing as Caitlin. I wasn't
think-
expecting how it was happening either. And to make it worse, the villain was surprisingly very calculated.
Right.
And even though they may come off initially as a little odd, but not necessarily harmful until they are.
All right, very good. So above all, I give Weapons a thumbs up. Tremendous filmmaking, and it works so well on tension. I think this is the best horror film I've seen all year so far, without a doubt. It's hands down. And a credit to Zach Kreger, which adds. I think this is better than Barbarian. I think it's better than Companion. This is.
I actually did not see Companion.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
But I have to say though, oh yeah, the kiddo that played Alex, according to Caitlin, Carrie Christopher,
Yeah.
well, I really felt for that
Good
kid.
job, man.
I felt my heart went out to that poor kid. I remember watching it. I'm like, oh, that poor child, let's get this kid out. Like,
Right.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, you definitely felt for him. So the kid did a great job. But no,
right.
honestly, I liked this better than Barbarians, just because I feel like it did come full circle. Barbarians, I feel like it just was one through event. You didn't have like I think what he did, what Kreger did with Weapons was what I think he wanted to do with Barbarian a bit more, because you got more perspectives, you got more of the chapters of each person's viewpoint, and then it comes together. You know, you got it a little with Barbarians, but not as much. I think he perfected that.
All right, so thumbs ups across the board for Weapons, rated R, in wide release, the #1 movie in America. Let's do a quick recap of this week's films on Silver Screen Previews. First, Freakier Friday. Carissa, quickly.
Thumbs up for this one.
Thumbs up. Why?
Thumbs up. Honestly, it's entertaining. It's fun. The jokes land. Although my criticism is that I found it a little hard to follow, and I think it either could have been longer or a miniseries. But other than that, if you want to just have fun and enjoy your movie and have a little nostalgia thrown in, enjoy it.
All right, very good. So thumbs up from Carissa. Caitlin also gave it a thumbs up. She liked the nostalgia of it and going back to the original story and making it work for a second time. So thank you to Caitlin Skinner. I was the only dissenter giving it a thumbs down. I was just tired of the rehashing of the story where nobody was begging for the sequel, and Jamie Lee Curtis continues to try to restart her career with this stuff. I mean, she's already got an Academy Award. She's got the Oscars. She got the Golden Globe.
I think she was more doing it for the fun with Lindsay Lohan, because Lindsay Lohan's the one that has been out of doing films for a while.
Right.
But
so she's trying to reboost her career.
Let's see.
We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. And the second and final film tonight on Silver Screen Previews, which is Weapons, rated R. Carissa, quickly. Why did you like
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Cinematically, a great film. Storytelling was on point. The actors, amazing performance, and it kept me on the edge of my seat and just enough jump scares to have me screaming in the theater. So, all in all, a success.
All right, very good. And also, a thumbs up there from Carissa. A thumbs up also from Caitlin Skinner. She loved the tension. She loved the goreness, the storyline here, completely immersed in it. So a thumbs up from Caitlin Skinner on that one. I also give it a thumbs up. It's a very sinister film that works as a chapter anthology, but leads to a shocking end. Open-ended, but oof, boy, you're going to get your money's worth when you see this one. It's 2 hours long, but you are not going to be complaining about it.
No, I did not realize it was 2 hours until you just said it, actually.
I was like, really? 2 hours? Unbelievable.
You would never know, because, again, you were enjoying yourself the whole time.
Yeah, unlike some of these other films that they've been coming out with, where I'm like, what? Gotta go.
When is this over?
All right, very good. Carissa Pignatelli, give us your social media coordinates where we can find you and follow you and all your good stuff coming up.
All my socials are at Cap, C-A-P, Loves, L-O-V-E-S-Y-O-U.
All right, excellent. We hope to see you again in the future with more of your expert analysis. Thank you once again, Carissa Pignatelli. And also, thanks to Caitlin Skinner, who joined us via satellite there on her reviews. Thank you once again, Caitlin, and we'll see you down the road as well. All right, very good. Folks, I want to thank you guys for putting up with our technical difficulties. But I promise you next week, and there's the puppy. Oh, he's
come on, you waited.
He's so cute. He's so cute. So we will see you again next Sunday for another edition of Silver Screen Previews. Yes, we're in the doldrums of the graveyard of Hollywoodland, which is called August. Yeah. But so far, so good. Yeah, even the puppies like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us on Instagram Live and attempting to join us on Rumble. We'll get the Rumble situation all fixed up next show. So definitely. All right.
Good night or good morning. It's 1 a.m. where I am. Good night, everybody. Or good morning.
All right. There you go. So on behalf of Carissa Pignatelli and Caitlin Skinner, I'm Rob Martin, and we'll catch you next Sunday for another edition of Silver Screen Previews. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Carissa. Fantastic.